All right, Xfinity at Phoenix. I'm going to do 14 to 1 plus 260 for my settings. Feel free to do whatever you want. Especially the steering stuff does not matter. I say that every video, but there's always going to be someone new. Brake bias, I could see why you would want to go higher here, but I really like the low brake bias. I really do. I think if you can just lift earlier and do a low brake bias, then that's nice. We can make it first lap here, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to do something really interesting here for this setup. This is the more interesting setup here. I'm going to go into third gear. And I go all the way from the wall, turn up to down. And I'm going to try to cut as low as I can here. Get all the way by the wall down here. And then I think I like second lane here more than first lane. Get the car turned maybe a little bit down into the first lane and then carry the speed off. You don't really carry that speed in the first lane quite as well. All right, early brake in here. Just gonna make the bottom. And then we can get right back on the throttle. Bring it all the way up to the wall. There we go. That was what I want to see there. That was a clean lap, actually. First try. You guys don't know how often I first try these and how often I don't first try these. And you'll never know. Okay. Oh, I guess you could look at this. But those are my warm-up laps. Those are me just learning the track. Okay. So, here's the weird thing, okay? So, third gear, and then you want to get by the wall and turn off of it as early as possible. I would say you don't want to go under, like, 90 miles an hour, or at least not much, because you still need the speed, obviously. But what I'm saying is you could get, like, to 70 miles an hour, and then you just aren't fast enough at the start-finish line. But here is where you, like, I'm turning down, I'm full throttle, I shift into fourth. You want to basically cross the start finish line at the yellow line. Maybe even a little bit before if your car allows you to. But like this is about as late as I want to cross over because it gives me a really good straight shot down right by the wall. And you don't want to scrub your tires doing this at all. So even though I could have technically turned a little further down, I thought that was going to scrub my tires, so I didn't. And then you want to re-enter where the blue line meets the yellow line. So I like going the second lane here. First lane feels like it could be better if you get it perfect, but this is just more consistent for me. So I'm going to brake. And I never give points, but for qualifying, I feel like I sometimes have to. So I start braking at the black sign here. I probably should not have been braking as much as I did, and that's a little much, especially for the brake bias I have in the car. And see, this is why you would have a brake bias that's more like 65, so that if you brake at 40%, you don't get this little moment here. See how I was kind of losing control for a sec. Really, I should be braking a little bit earlier and braking at like 20% there all the way through. But I got it into there. And then by the time I got my car settled on the seam, this first seam up right here, I transitioned that to a throttle. You can see me pumping the gas. I don't normally recommend to do that, but I felt like I needed to get some quick rotation. So I pumped the gas to get the car turned down. And if your car doesn't turn down when you pump the gas, that means that you got on the gas too quickly. And then it just kind of drives itself out of the corner. So basically, I'm spending the whole corner trying to establish my angle so I don't have to worry about this exit. If you aren't managing your angle the whole time and you're not like turning slightly downward the whole time, then you're going to get a whole load of wall. Okay, turn 3. Earlier braking than you think. This is so enticing to brake super late for, but the problem is you just have to slow way, way, way down in the corner. Look at how early I pick up the throttle. I pick up the throttle right here in the corner. If you overdrive the corner, you're probably picking up the throttle like right here. And that's a huge, 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 huge difference. So this is one of the times where I'm actually going to be braking more than my threshold of 25% because this corner I actually do have to slow down for. So I'm actually maxing out at like 40%. Very rare for me to do this. But I have to make sure that my brake trails off to that 20% by the time I have any sort of meaningful wheel in it. So my whole braking at 40%, my wheel should be like fairly straight, like this. But then by the time I start turning the wheel, I need to be backing off. And then from here, the exit of 4 is so wide that even though it feels really early in the corner, you can just gas straight up the track. Like put a heat-seeking missile on this turn 4 sign right here. And it can carry the speed. So long run line, I mean, it's just going to be the same as qualifying line here, except you can cut the dog leg. I don't love cutting the dog leg every lap. I'm part of this mindset that could be completely wrong, but to me it feels like I use up my tires more when I'm like making those big turn downs and transitions. So if I don't have to, I won't, is the thing. But it's still really important. That's going to be the most important part of the lap, is to get all the way down to the yellow line each time. And you see, you're not really even set up good to dip below the yellow line. Early braking, just because we're kind of chilling. Love the second line. I really do. The bottom might be better, but I just always feel so sketchy in the bottom compared to the top. Early braking, this is just the most important part, to always get the car down on the yellow line here. And the longer you can get it down on the yellow line, the more tire you're saving, essentially. It's not quite that simple, but it's almost that simple. I can see this being a right rear wearing because of how we're kind of sliding a bit on entry and exit. I would say that it's going to wear all your tires. Like, it's not even fair to say this is a right rear burner, this is a right front burner. This is an all tire burner, and anything can happen. I'll show the bottom here. So yeah, I'm just chilling on the bottom. I just feel like there's nothing for me to do with my throttle when I'm running this bottom line, but maybe it's saving marginal more tires than the second line. So just holding the brake in 3 and 4 until the car is stopping to track up the track, and then you pick up the throttle and let it come up from there, because from there you're in control. These early brakes are probably going to help. Yeah, I would say you might not need to brake as early as I am to save tire, but it feels a lot better when you do, especially in this car. This is probably my best one yet. It's understeering under throttle a bit, which is a little surprising to me. So I might have to wait on the throttle a little bit in 3 and 4 in terms of like going full throttle. Already quite a bit of fall off. I mean, I guess 2/10 of that was lost to the dog leg, so it's, or even 3/10 if you see. So I guess that's not as crazy of a thing to see 7/10 fall off. Let's try to do like a long run style dog leg line. It's not that good. It really isn't. Because the only reason I got that really crazy line, oh, I missed, dang it, before was because I did the high line. But like here, I can't really even turn down until right here. And what did I get for that? I got like less than 1/10 for that. Oh, and I was staring at my delta and completely missed the corner. But yeah, I would say 1 and 2, I like the second line, and then 3 and 4, just making sure you're braking early enough to get to that bottom yellow line is going to be so important. Super duper duper important. See, it's wearing both tires evenly, but that just means it's roasting everything. So it's like, just try to keep your slides to a minimum. Try to keep all of the fighting with your car to a minimum. That's how you're going to do well in this combo. All right. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.